Hi everyone, hope you're all well. In this video we're going to talk about SEO, its benefits, and how to SEO your site. So SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization. SEO in itself is a very complex phrase, can sound like a complex phrase, but it's actually something that can be quite basic and easy to apply into your business website. In the online marketing world, most of the brands you search for wouldn't be so accessible without it. By implementing a basic SEO strategy into your marketing, you will create a wider audience for your product or your service. So what is SEO? Ultimately, SEO is responsible for giving people what they want. If a person Googles best hairdresser near me, then Google will continuously reevaluate its results pages to ensure that they are providing the searcher with exactly what they're looking for. This therefore benefits everyone. Google fulfilling their role as a reliable source, and the customer for having their query answered, and the business for gaining recognition and traction. The more valuable your website and its content is, the higher you will rank on the search engine results page, otherwise known as SERP. This is why it's important to put time and effort into optimizing your website's content, so that a search engine likes to show it as a top result for searches when users type in a certain phrase or keyword. It's not just a 5-star review and popularity contest, as you may have thought. SEO follows a specific technical algorithm, and lucky for you, we have this video to kind of show you what the basics in SEO are, what you need to do to implement a basic SEO strategy into your website as well. So what are the benefits of having basic SEO practice on your website? So it brings you lots of benefits, from enhancing your online positioning to encouraging repeat customers. SEO basics include creating a better user experience. So good SEO leads to good user experiences. This can be achieved in a number of ways, like providing your audience with useful, insightful information, high quality imagery and videos, easy to navigate web pages, and seamless mobile-friendly website configuration. This might seem like a long checklist, but once you refine each of these components, your website will see a return on investment. And these appeal to a website visitor in a variety of ways. For example, the sleeker website, the more people will trust you as a source of information, products, and or services, and this is more likely to encourage lead generation and repeat customers. It also helps you build brand credibility. If Google has ranked you on the first result page, it's one of the ultimate seals of approval. Usually researchers will believe and trust Google's recommendations, and a massive 75% of searches never click past the first page of results. As a result, Google works really hard to ensure they are answering questions as quickly and as accurately as possible to surpass other competitive search engines. Therefore, the harder you work to achieve the first page Google status, visitors will instantly think highly of not just your website but also your business. In turn, this brings a multitude of benefits, such as a higher click-through rate and more tangible sales as well. It also enhances your presence online, so the better your SEO game, the better your chances of being seen. Boosting your online presence means searchers will become more familiar with your brand name, and this leads to heightened brand awareness and therefore higher levels of trust. The more you are searched for, clicked on, shared, or recommended, this puts you in a much stronger position online compared to your competitors. SEO is what helps dominate and succeed. However, this is not an overnight fix. You need to make sure you are making yourself as searchable as possible, and this involves using basic SEO techniques, which we'll talk about further in this video. So how do you make your SEO better? SEO can be complex to understand, yet the tactics are simple to incorporate into your strategy. One of the main things you want to think about are keywords. Keywords are at the core of SEO. They are specific words and phrases that people type into search engines to find what they're looking for. By using the correct keywords in your website content, whether this is informational pages or blogs, it will help make you more relevant and appear to be answering multiple queries associated with your business. This makes you more valuable, which will help you rank higher. Normally, people focus on primary and secondary keywords. Primary keywords are the main word people search for. For example, a primary keyword would be clock. Secondary keywords add more detail and provide a better insight into a searcher's intention, which helps refine the results. For example, the secondary keyword to clock might be alarm, digital, or wall. There are also variations of keywords that you can include. These are semantic and long tail words. So semantic relates to the meaning behind language and logic. Semantic keywords therefore try to determine what users mean when they type a certain word or short phrase into a search engine. For example, if you were to type in burger, Google would try to work out your intention behind your search. It would likely give you options for burger recipes, a local burger restaurant, or options for takeaway delivery. Therefore, to rank more highly, you should include semantic phrases of a particular word to match as many intentions as possible. Long tail keywords are keyword combinations that are longer than 2 words. These usually link to and support the main keyword, but in different variations. This means that they meet the needs of multiple searches depending on word selection. For example, long tail keywords could be listen to music online, free online music, or free music playlist. Although they each have lower search volumes, this makes them easier to rank for, meaning you are more likely to rank for a specific query. You also have readability, so content that is easy to read is essential for better SEO results. Search engines will privilege pieces of content where users spend longer on the page, as it indicates to their crawlers that their article has provided value to the searcher. If your content flows well and is digestible for the reader, then they will likely spend more time reading the full page. Good readability can be achieved in a number of ways. Short sentences, words with shorter syllables, and simple language all help in making a web page or a blog more SEO friendly. This way you can attract readers of all ages, helping you expand your customer base as well. So now we've talked about the basics of SEO, why they're important. Now we can now talk about how to implement those strategies onto your website. So depending on what website you use, there's different ways to implement those strategies. In this video, we're going to talk about WordPress websites and Wix websites. Stay tuned for more videos to come. So starting off with WordPress websites use plugins to add more functionality to the website, and this also applies for adding more SEO functionality to your website as well. So when it comes to WordPress websites, there's a few plugins out there that will help you optimize your site for SEO, and one of them is Rank Math. So Rank Math is a really powerful SEO tool that makes it easy for anyone to optimize their content with built-in suggestions based on widely accepted best practice by Google. Rank Math is free. They do have a free version of their plugin that does have quite a lot of functionality and capabilities, but they also have a pro version as well, and we'll get into both of those as well. But with Rank Math, there's a lot of tools that you get within the free version that can keep you busy in optimizing your site, at least for the most basic of SEO. So in order to download Rank Math and install it onto your site, you want to go on rankmath.com and just hit download. You can also just download it directly from the WordPress directory from your website. So once you're on your website, if you click plugins and just click add new, you can either upload the plugin that we just downloaded, or if you hadn't downloaded it, then you can always just type in Rank Math into the search bar and it should come up as the first result. And you're looking for Rank Math by Rank Math, and you just want to click install now. And you just want to hit activate. And you can see Rank Math is being installed onto your site, and you've got another little tab here for Rank Math. So when you click into the dashboard, so you can see you've got a few modules that come with Rank Math, and some only can come with the pro version, but you can see there's quite a few that go in with the basic version that you have. So once you download Rank Math, you'll be faced with the setup wizard, and what you want to do is just get through each of the stages one by one. So you can use whichever mode of Rank Math you want to use, either advanced, if you have options, if you want options change everything, or if you want just the basic Rank Math as well. You want to click on advanced so you can do some custom configurations as well, but it's not too advanced as well. You just want to click on Start Wizard. So if you already have an SEO plugin, or if you previously had any kind of SEO plugin on your website but not anymore, Rank Math will look for any of the saved settings and import them, so that you're not losing that the SEO basics if you already had some. So this might not be a step if you're for the first time installing any kind of SEO optimization plugin onto your website. You probably won't get that step. The next thing then is going to ask you about your site. So it's going to ask you what kind of blog it is, or what kind of website it is, the name, any kind of alternative names, logo for Google, things like that. And you just want to go through these and fill in as much information as you can. Just click save and continue. And then you can connect to Google services. So if you connect to your Google services to Rank Math, you can get site ownership, you can track your page with rankings, easy to set up Google Analytics, things like that. You can also just choose to skip this step and just keep everything really basic with Google. And then you have the option to include a sitemap. You want to make sure that you include that as well. And then finally you have the SEO tweaks for optimization. You want to make sure that there's no index tags and that when links open in a new tab, so the external links open in a new tab, and then just click save and continue, and then you have your site is ready. So you just want to click on return to dashboard, and the way Rank Math works is you have a Rank Math module on the back end of every post and page of your website. And what it does is Rank Math will scan that specific post or page, and then it will essentially give you a checklist of things that you're missing, a checklist of things that you're doing well, and things that you can be improved. So for example, this blog here, we've got this kind of blog post, and you can see on the right side, if I scroll down, I have the Rank Math suggestions over here as well. What I'm going to do is tidy this up a bit so then I can see it a bit better. Yeah, so I've got the Rank Math SEO settings, and you can see towards here, so I can see the Google preview, I can see where I've added the keyword, and I can see sort of all of the SEO kind of mistakes and anything I'm doing well. So what you want to do to optimize your blog for SEO, the first thing that you want to do is add a keyword. And keywords, as you remember, are the words that you want this particular page or this particular post to rank for. With Rank Math, you do get the option of having one keyword, but as I said, when it comes to keywords, you can also add things like long tail keywords, alias keywords, things like that. Just with Rank Math, you can only add one keyword. If you upgrade to the Pro version, you can add more. But for now, we'll just stick to the one keyword, as it's still a lot for us to work with. Once you add the keyword, Rank Math will then scan your page again, and then it will kind of update this list basically. So originally you'd see there's a bunch of red, we're missing a whole lot of things, but now that we've added the keyword, it immediately sort of goes through again and sees what errors that need fixing, what errors don't. So just to go through each of them, it's split into basic SEO, additional SEO, title readability, and content readability. So starting off over here, so this is the Google preview. So this is essentially what users will see whenever this particular page or post comes up in Google search engine results. So they can see the title and they can see a bit of the description as well. So if you ever wanted to change the title, you just want to go into the preview snippet editor and you want to click in title. And if you ever want to change the description, you just want to click into the preview snippet editor and just click into description. Once you have that, you can X out. But as you can see, what you can also see is this little bar here, and this kind of bar is there to let you know how much content you're writing, because it's really important that you have the correct amount of space. So for example, in the title, while we have all the information there, it's still going over the limit. So you can see the limit is 62 characters over 60, and we've got 2 characters over the limit. So we want to reduce that title as much as possible and make sure within that limit as well. And same with the permalink, so you want to make sure that the permalink isn't too long as well. And then same with the description, so you want to keep an eye on these bars and make sure that you're not typing more, that you're not going over the limit essentially. You won't get ranked down. It's not so much that you'll get ranked down so much on Google, but it's just if you go over the limit, you can see that if you write too much, it'll get cut off, so users aren't going to be able to read the full title, or they're not going to be able to read the full description, and it's not great for user experience. So you want to make sure you stay within the limit. The next thing then is going through the list of basic SEO. So you go through this list, and essentially anything in green means that you've done it well, there's nothing else to fix. Anything in orange means it's not bad, but if you can fix it, you should. And anything in red means you're doing it wrong and you need to fix it immediately. So you can see in basic SEO there's a few things that come up. So one of the things that come up is that using the focus keyword in the SEO title is really important. So we have the keyword as lorem, and you want to make sure that you have it in the SEO title, which is if you click into edit snippet, the title is up here. And then you want to make sure that the keyword is also used inside the meta description. So again, if you go back into the snippet, and you want to make sure that you're using the keyword in that description. The other thing that you want to make sure is that the keyword is being used in the URL. So again, if you go into snippet, and you can see you can change the permalink there essentially to make sure that the keyword is being used there, and that the focus keyword appears in the first 10% of the content, meaning your actual blog content. You want to make sure that you're using the keyword somewhere towards in the beginning, basically. And in general, they should be able to find the keyword in the content as well, so within the content. One thing that's in orange is that the content length. So content is 808 words long, which isn't bad. It's an orange tick. If you click into the little question mark, it takes you to Rank Math's resource page and tells you a little bit more as to what that issue is and what they recommend. So specifically overall content length. So Rank Math will give you a simple guide onto what they feel it would be good for a good amount of content, basically. So between so and so words will give you this amount of scores. So just a little guide that they can give you. The good thing about Rank Math, again, so each of these little points that they give, like little tasks on the list that they give, there's a little question mark, and it'll take you to a resource that talks specifically about that point. So if you're ever unsure about anything, you just need to click into the question mark and then just read through their guide and follow essentially what they say. So it is kind of designed for like people with sort of basic SEO knowledge or wants to learn more. It's a really good kind of learning resource. You can see, so as we type and as we edit the content a bit more, our score changes, and our score improves as well, or decreases as well. So it is constantly like scanning the page and making sure that everything is being done. So it kind of works in real time as well. Then you have additional SEO. So these are additional things that you can do to increase your score. One of the things that you can do is making sure that the keyword is found in subheadings. So making sure when you add subheadings, some of them have the keyword in there. Other things that is going well is that you haven't used this focus keyword before. So Google like to see pages that have different keywords, and that not two pages have the same content, basically. So when you are adding new blogs, or if you're adding new pages, you want to make sure you give a different keyword for each of them. Some things that aren't going well are things like the keyword density. So keyword density basically is scanning how many times that keyword is appearing on your content. So you get a score for having the keyword appearing within your content, having it appear in the beginning of your content, but overall in general having it appear as many times as possible within the content. So it gives you a score of how many times it's appearing, and then you just wouldn't want to increase that until you get that to green. Other things that aren't going well is for example, adding an image with your focus keyword as alt text. So you want to basically add an image and making sure that the alt text is set to the image, and that the alt text for that image is one of the keywords. Things like shortening the URL, linking out to external resources. So for example, if we were to add an external link here and just click link, you can see that that's not green. So they do like to see external linking and also internal linking as well. So if we maybe link to another page, and this time make that an internal link. You can see as well our scores have increased again. So they like to see linking across your website. With external links, it's really good to have external links to link out to websites, but it's also really good to have internal links to link within your website. And with external links, just having one external link is fine, as you don't want to link out too much to your website. But with internal links, you want to have as many internal links as possible, as reasonable basically, because it keeps people on your site for longer, It shows people sort of clicking around your site and exploring your site a bit more. And that's basically everything in the additional. Next thing, then you have the title readability, and this is focusing on your actual SEO title. So there's additional rules that you can have to increase to optimize that as much as possible. So one thing that they like to see is that your focus keyword is being used at the beginning of the SEO title. So they like to see it within the first 4 or 5 words, basically. And they also like to see if they have a positive or negative sentiment. So things like best services, top quality, exciting things, or anything like that, something to evoke sort of like a stronger emotion in someone. They like to see that as well. They like to see title containing power words, and they also like to see numbers as well, so like top 10, top 20, things like that, just to make the title more interesting. All these things make your title more interesting and make it more interesting for the user to actually click on. And the next thing then is the content readability. So as we mentioned, and content readability focuses on how easy the content is to read for the user. So the way they gauge that is if you scroll down and look at content readability, they look at paragraph length and they look at media as well. So when it comes to paragraphs, they prefer to use shorter paragraphs. And there's also things like adding images or videos to break up the text. So images are a really good way to kind of make your text more readable, and keep your users on the page for longer, because they can be more interesting. Some people like to watch videos a lot more than they like to read large amount of text. So things like that will kind of falls into content readability, and they kind of help your content readability as well. As you can see, as we've been making changes and edits, our score has been increasing and decreasing wherever it is. So with Rank Math, you do get kind of like instant results as you're making the changes, which is really good. It's really important to know so you would use Rank Math in this way for all of your posts, and it's specific to every single post that you have, and you can also do it for your pages as well. So if you go to any one of your pages, you can see that you have the Yoast, the Rank Math editor as well, and it's the same thing. It's the same rules, and it's the same laid out, the same. So basic SEO, additional, title readability, all of that, and you just go in and just change the content, change the meta descriptions to how you need it in order to increase that score. And as you're making changes, it'll give you that score as well. So again, when it comes to Rank Math, even though there is a free version, pro version gives you a bit more. Even with the free version, the basics, if you're just starting out optimizing your blogs and your pages, there's a lot to work with. What I recommend is starting off with the basic and doing as much as possible with that, and as you get more comfortable and more knowledgeable, then maybe go to the pro version. But the pro version, really, you can get the keyword tracking, and you can get 24/7 support as well. Again, with Rank Math, there's a lot that you can do with the basic version as well. So as well as Rank Math, another popular SEO plugin is Yoast. It's really important to note that when you are using SEO plugins, you only need one. So if you have Rank Math, you don't need to also include Yoast, or if you have Yoast, you don't need to also include Rank Math. But Rank Math can be used, or Yoast can be used. Yoast is an SEO plugin designed to help you optimize every page and post so that visitors and search engines get the most out of your website. Yoast in its basic form is free, and you can download it from their website, or you can go to the WordPress directory and download it from there. You can also go and download it from your website directory. So if you go into your dashboard and then go into plugins, and then just click add new, you should be able to search for Yoast up here. Just type in Yoast into the search bar. And you're looking for this plugin here, so Yoast SEO by Team Yoast. And what you want to do is just click install now. And once it's done installing, you just want to click on the activate button to activate it onto your site. Your page will then refresh and you should be taken to the Yoast installation wizard. And what you can do is you can go through the wizard, or you can just skip it and just start optimizing your pages and your posts. The wizard is pretty straightforward to go forward. So if you want to click on Start First Time Configuration, you'll fill in basic details like the name of your business and things like that. So what it'll do first, it'll analyze your site the way Google does, and then it'll immediately show you any technical issues that you'll need fixing and what content needs to be optimized. So you want to click continue, and then it'll start asking you through the site representation. So it'll ask you questions about your site or your organization. Does it represent an organization or a person? The name of your website and the name of your organization, and then you want to select a logo as well. And then the next step, then you want to add any social media profiles that you have, and you just take the link of the social media profiles. So you can do Facebook, Twitter, any other social media profiles. So if you have like a LinkedIn, Instagram, things like that, you just add as many as you can, and they'll optimize the metadata for those platforms as well. And then just some personal preferences, it'll ask if it wants to track your site data or not, and this will be tracked by Yoast as well, so it's up to you if you want them to have that kind of information or not. And then finally, you can also sign up for the newspaper as well. And that's it. So now that they have analyzed your site, you've different options, so you can start optimizing the site as well by visiting your SEO dashboard. So if we click on that, so here is where they'll add any sort of SEO problems. So in this example, there isn't any, but any problems that you'll have, or any problems that they'll pick up during the analysis stage, it'll show up here with all the problems and the recommendations on how to fix them. So that's sort of a really handy thing to add. So make sure when you first install Yoast, you go through the first time configuration. If you ever want to come back to the Yoast tab, by the way, it's just a new tab that's on the left-hand menu under General, so you can always come back to this. So now that the first time configuration is done, what you can do now is start optimizing your pages and post content. So for example, if we go into the post dashboard here, you can see now there's little options there's new columns for the SEO. So things like you get a score for your SEO, and you get a readability score as well. And then you also get the brief sort of SEO title, meta description, and the key phrase. If you don't see these new columns, what you want to do is go into screen options, and then you can see the columns being ticked here. So it could be that these columns aren't ticked, so you're not seeing them. Obviously you don't need them if you don't want anything too cluttered, so you can just keep the readability score and the SEO score just so you have that, and any other categories or any other columns that you think you might need. But yeah, when you go into your posts, and your pages also should be the same, you'll see new columns for SEO, things like the title and the readability score and the SEO score, and that way you can kind of keep track on what pages or what blogs need to be updated, what pages or blog are okay. And it uses a traffic light system, so anything that's marked in red is very important, you need to change it. Everything in orange is not as important, not as high priority, but still would be good to change. And then anything in green then means you're doing okay. So for example, if we were to go and create a new blog, so we'll take this one here. So you can see we've got the blog here, we've written the blog, we've written the title, we've written the blog content, we've added images, things like that. So now that the blog itself is ready, we can go over what Yoast recommends for improvement basically. So you can see on the right here, we've got the Yoast SEO section here. To see in depth what needs to be improved, you want to go into this top tab here, and this is the Yoast side panel here. So what you want to do is go through essentially everything that you need to do. So for example, if you go into SEO analysis, this is where they'll tell you what you're missing and what you need to do. So for example, because we haven't added in a key phrase yet, a lot of things are red. Key phrases are basically words or phrases that you want this specific post to rank for. So if you're writing a post about traveling in London, then maybe the key phrase would be traveling in London or traveling or London, and things like that. It's really important that you add in a key phrase, because then it lets Google know what this page is going to be about, and it'll help you sort of rank in search engines. This page will sort of rank in search engines that you want it to rank for. It's essentially the main search phrase that you want this post to rank for. So the first thing that you want to do is add in a key phrase, and then what Yoast will do then will analyze this blog and see what it needs in terms of improvement for SEO. So if you go into the analysis results, you can see there's 4 problems, things like the key phrase length, meta description, all of that. So these are all things that will be improved once you add the key phrase. So for example, if we add the key phrase as London, you can see it's gone from red to orange, and if you scroll down you can see what you're doing well. So things like the key phrase is now in the slug, so the slug being the URL of the post. You want the key, so Yoast like it whenever the key phrase is in the slug, and so search engines will rank that higher. In terms of key phrase length, and it's a good length, and then the density being how many times the key phrase shows up in this text. So it was found 24 times, so it's obviously a good number of times for it to show up. Key phrase being in the introduction, so you want the key phrase to not only be within your content but also within the first maybe 10% of the content, so in the introduction as well, and that the key phrase is also in the title, so the title being the title of the blog post, so it's at the title up here. Other things that you're doing that what it shows you that you're doing well is things like outbound links. Outbound links being links to other pages that aren't on your website. This could be another website, this could be links to social media, all of those kinds of outbound links. So it's good to have them within your page, and obviously you get marked up if you have them there. Images as well, so it's good to have images to break up the text and improve the sort of readability of it. It also helps if there's an image with the key phrase as the alt text, so make sure you also have that as well, and that it's not a previously used key phrase. So obviously you can set a key phrase for every single page, every single post, but you want to use different key phrases for each page as well, and you get kind of marked a bit higher for that. So another tab is you've got problems. We did good results, so now there's also improvements and problems. So with the improvements, it's talking about the image key phrase. So it'll explain exactly. So out of 6 images on this page, 6 have all attributes with words from a key phrase. That's a bit much. Only include the key phrase or its synonyms when it really fits the image. So you want to be careful how you're using the key phrase to describe the image. If it does make sense and it is applicable to the image, then I wouldn't worry about it too much. Next thing then is the problems. So one thing that it'll say is link the key phrase. It's saying that you're linking to another page with words you want this page to rank for, so it's highlighting that you shouldn't do that. So essentially when you have the key phrase within the text, you don't want it to link to another part of the page because you want that keyword to be ranking on this specific page. And then another thing that they're asking for is key phrase in subheadings. So obviously you've got your text here and it's broken up in different subheadings. You've got this one is like a H2, H3, you might have a H4 or 5, whatever, all of that in there. So it's asking you to use more key phrases within the subheadings. So I think there's one like in here, but so then maybe try incorporating key phrases in like heading 3s, heading 4s, and get a good variety. Another thing they're asking then is there's no internal links. So internal links obviously is the opposite of outbound links. These are links that link to other pages of your website, but still within your website. So it could be another blog, it could be a page, it could be the contact us page, all those count as internal links. So in this case, it's saying that there's no internal links on this page, so you want to make sure that you add some. Another thing that's saying is the meta description length. So the meta description is the small kind of description that will show up on the search results page of a website. So when this page is ranking and it's on the search results page, it'll show the title and obviously the meta description. So you want that description to describe this page or post specifically and not the site as a whole. It's something that search engines will use to see what your site is about, but it's also something that customers or clients will use and visitors of your website will use to see, okay, what is this page about? What is this page about before I even click into it? Is this related to what I'm looking for? So you want to make sure that you use your own meta description, and it does describe accurately what this post is about. To edit the meta description, what you want to do is actually scroll down on the post and keep scrolling until you get to the bottom. So you can see there's another sort of Yoast section here. So key phrase, it can be added here. And what this does here is this part is showing you the preview of the Google search results. So if you click on desktop even, this is what the user will see whenever this post shows up on search results. So they'll see the title, they'll see this slug, and they'll see this meta description as well. So right now we don't have one. So what you want to do is in this meta description box here, you want to just type in the meta description of the page. I'll just, for this example, just type in a few words here. And you can see as I'm typing, there's a little bar here, and that's there to let me know if I'm writing too much or too little. So you can see right now I'm still writing too much. And if you click into SEO analysis, so this is the same SEO analysis that's up here, it's just in a different place now. So if we go into SEO analysis, you can see in the improvement meta description length is now coming up and that it's over 156 characters. So to ensure that it's actually the full description is visible, you should reduce the length. Maybe if we'll start removing a few sentences, a few words, it'll start, the bar will go down a bit. So you can see now that it's in the green, it's a good length, so we can keep it that way. The trick with meta description is that you want to make sure that you're writing enough within Google, and you want to make sure you're writing enough that it shows within the Google search result engines, and also that it's readable to the user. They can, once they read that, they can understand what this page is going to be about, and then they click into it. So it does need to accurately describe the page, but then also fit within the box that Google give you. So now you can see as we've added in more descriptions, more text, our SEO analysis score has gone to green. If we click back here, it should, yeah, so it's all being listed out here, but it should also be listed here as well. So you can see under good results, we've got the text length, key phrase in the slug, previous used key phrase, and things like that. So from there you can see Yoast and Rank Math are pretty similar. They work in the same way. They use that same kind of traffic light system where green kind of tells you everything you're doing well, red means is urgent, you need to fix now, and orange means is doing okay. With Yoast and Rank Math, they're both designed to kind of guide you through the steps of having your site optimized for SEO. But again, as mentioned before, you don't need both on your plugin. In fact, you shouldn't have both on your website. If you have Yoast, you don't need Rank Math, and if you have Rank Math, you should install Yoast. The two will kind of clash with each other. Out of the two, so Rank Math tends to give you a lot more features with their free version as opposed to Yoast. Yoast has just been around longer, there's a lot more articles and a lot more of a community, but Rank Math is also pretty high up there in terms of their resources as well. So both are a good shout. You can have a play around with both of them, see which one you feel would be better for you. But both are really good to have. And again, just remember that you shouldn't use both plugins at the same time. Just one will be enough. So with WordPress, you would optimize your site for search engines using the plugins. With Wix, it's slightly different. To do basic SEO on Wix. Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to cover some basic SEO that you can set up with your pages and your blog posts to make sure everything's optimized and that you have everything that you need. So to start off with the pages, what you want to do is go onto the page that you are wanting to optimize and then click into the page drop down. And then what you want to do is go into manage pages. And you have a list of all the pages here, and you just want to make sure that each of them have all the basic SEO set up. So for example, the home page, if you click on the 3 dots for the home page, and then you see the option for SEO basics, you just want to click that. And you can see sort of the preview on Google, what people can see when this page shows up in search results, and how you can change it. So for example, and this is the snippet here, and this is the page title. So right now the page title is home and the site name. So if you wanted to change the title for that, you would just click into the page's title tag, and you can see there's a character count over here as well. And you can just click in and normal, and then you can see the preview change as well as you're typing. And this is essentially the title and the description, and you're going to use it to kind of explain to the user what exactly this page specifically is about. The next thing that you want to add then is the page's meta description, and the meta description is this description that shows up in search results. It won't show up on the actual page of your website, it's just on the search results section. So when this page comes up in results, people will then read what's that page about, and will it match basically what they're searching for. And just like the title, you would just click into this section and then just type in exactly what the description that you want would be here, and you just paste it in. You want to make sure you pick a description that accurately describes what's on this page specifically, and you're using sort of words that you want to rank for and want that page to rank for. So your description should be under 500 characters, and you can see when you type in, there's a little kind of character count here, so to kind of keep yourself right. The other thing then is the let search engines index this page. This is switched on by default. It just means you're allowing Google to kind of read this page, so you want to make sure that stays switched on. By default, it should already be switched on anyway. So all the pages work exactly the same in terms of the SEO basics. If you go into the About page, for example, and click on the 3 dots and click the SEO basics, and you can see then the snippets show up like here as well. You've got the About, you've got the title, meta description, search engine indexing the page. One thing that you might need to change is the URL. So as you're adding pages and you're adding blank pages, the URL might not change intuitively, so what you want to do is click into the URL and actually just give it the actual URL that it's meant to be. In this case it's About. But again, you would just switch on, make sure the search engines index this page toggle is switched on, and then add the title and add the description. That's really important as well. For the blogs, it's slightly different. So if we go into the blog section of your website, so you can see I've opened up a blog here. And once you've finished writing your blog, you just want to go into the SEO tab here. And you can see all of the SEO settings on the left here. So similar to the pages, you've got the URL, which kind of takes it automatically from the title of the page. Then you've got the title tag, and then you've got the meta description. And it should already be filled in by taking the first few lines of your post, but you want to make sure that the description is accurate and that it will kind of encourage users to click on it if they see this in search engine results. Other things you can improve on is the social share. So if you were to share this link on social media, it'll show you how it's going to show up. So this is essentially a preview. You've got an image, you've got the title, you've got the description as well. And then you can also do Twitter settings as well, so it'll show you specifically what it'll look like on Twitter with the card sizes. You can choose if it's large or small, and it'll give you the preview that way as well. Under the Advanced tab are more settings that you can use. There is a way also to customize all of your SEO settings for all of your blogs in one go. If you click into this tab here and click go to SEO settings, it'll give you an overview of SEO settings that you can use, and it'll apply those settings to every single post on your Wix site. things like SEO basics and social share, if you click on that, and you can see it'll take all the information dynamically. So by default it'll take the post title and post excerpt, but what you can do is, if you want to also add the site title, you just click on, you would add a separator and then click add variable, and then you can pick between what it is that you want to add. So for all of the posts, then it'll also add the site name, and you can add more to that as well. Same with the meta description. So with the post excerpt, by default it'll show an excerpt of the post, but you can also add sort of like anything else that you wanted to add in terms of like the post title and things like that. And then the search engines indexing your blog post toggle is switched on by default, with the social share as well. So by default it'll show the title tag, but if you want them all to show also the site name, you just add the title tag and then add the separator and then add the variable, and then just look for the other variable that you want to add. So for example, maybe the site name. And then you have the cover image as well added, and then you can set the Twitter settings as well. And other things you can do then, you just want to save. So for example, the page URL. So by default the page URL is going to be your domain name /post/post slug, which you can keep or add more variables to. And the other thing you can do is add something called meta tags. So by default the post writer time URL is all set, but what you can do is you can add more sort of meta descriptions if you wanted to. Things like the title tag you can add categories as well. Just depends on what additional meta tags that you want. Typically the defaults that are set for the blogs are fine. It's maybe just this SEO basics that you want to add to, maybe add the site name to all of them as well, just to increase the width of your SEO title a little bit. Another thing you can do is if you go into SEO settings as well, so from the marketing and SEO and go into SEO tools, you can set up the SEO settings for the main pages. And again, so that was for the blog post, but then you can also set up the SEO basics and social share for the pages as well. So by default you've got the page name, separator, and the site name. You can get rid of the site name if you wanted to, or you can just keep it in there, and you can add more variables to it as well. So by default you can add like the business name, business description, things like that as a default basically. If you come into the Get Found on Google tab, you can then use the SEO setup checklist, where Wix will kind of talk you through step by step how to improve your site for SEO. So it'll ask you sort of questions, and then it'll give you a checklist, and then you can connect to Google as well afterwards. So if you click Get Started, it'll ask you for your business name. And where you serve your customers, or things like that. And then you want to write down what keywords that you want to use in your checklists. So you want to think of words and phrases that describe your site accurately and shows what your business kind of has to offer, and you can use words that you want to rank for. They can give you examples. If you click on see examples, there's a few here, and they're kind of short and sweet and nothing too like wordy or anything like that, and you want to make sure that they're all spelled correctly, things like that. And then just click next, and you can see your SEO setup checklist being set up over here. So you would go through and just make sure that your site is following each of them. So for example, set the homepage titles for search results. If you click on go for it, it'll take you to your homepage example, and you just want to make the changes that they're asking for. So for this one, it's setting the homepage title for search results, and it's asking you to basically just change the title so that it is using one of the keywords, and then whichever one that you choose, you just click apply. And then it kind of moves on to the next issue, so something like the meta description, and it'll tell you basically what's missing, so at least one keyword, your business site name, and then the text length, so it's telling you what the issues are and what you're doing well, and then things like that. So then you can also see in step 2 there's also your site pages. There's about 30 tasks, so you can see exactly what's going well, what's going right, and what you need to improve on. So for example, like the about page, everything's fine apart from this one issue, so it's asking you to set the meta description for that page, and it gives you a preview and it lets you sort of fix the issue here on this page instead of having to go into the editor again. So yeah, there's different ways to kind of update the SEO on your site. Either you can go through the editor, make sure all the pages have the title and the meta description, or you can go into the checklist here and it'll show all of the issues and all of the problems in one page basically, and you can edit everything that way. And it's the pages and then also just the blog posts as well. And it gives, this section basically just gives you an overview of what you need left to add.